Hello everyone, and welcome to the Evolution of Public Health Learning, Introducing the New Train Learning Network webinar. My name is Alyssa Golan, and I am the Director of the Train Learning Network at the Public Health Foundation. Before we get started, we wanted to run through a few logistical items for our webinar today. I just want to note that all attendees are muted. If you are using your phone, please choose the telephone option and enter your audio PIN. You can find this in the audio panel. Slides for today's presentation are available for download in the handouts panel. Please use the questions panel to ask questions and submit comments throughout the webinar. What we're going to do is provide an overview and a demo, and then we will address all questions. I also want to note that this webinar is being recorded and will be made available on Train. During today's webinar, we will provide you with an overview of the new platform and what you can expect when it launches on Monday, January 30th. We will demo the platform and the new features that you can expect to see on Monday. We will describe what other components of the platform will be released after January 30th. And very importantly, we will be available to answer your questions. Before we get started, I want to introduce Ron Bialik, President of the Public Health Foundation, to welcome all of you to today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Alyssa, and welcome to the nearly 800 individuals who registered for today's webinar, where we will introduce the new Train Learning Network platform. I want to thank our PHF Train team and our technology partner, KMI Learning, for all of their great work in creating the new Train Learning platform. I also want to thank the many hundreds of individuals who provided us with comments and suggestions for improving Train and also participated in the testing of our new platform. Since its launch in 2003, the Train Learning Network has become a crucial tool for training the health workforce. Through Train, hundreds of governmental agencies and many other organizations have collaborated to disseminate, track, and share training for professionals who work in the public health, preparedness, and healthcare sectors. As a result of this collaboration and sharing, learners have easy access to thousands of quality training opportunities on Train. Today, Train has over 1.3 million registered users, hundreds of agencies and organizations that post content to Train, and public health and preparedness agencies in 26 states, as well as 3 federal agencies that are Train affiliates. The Public Health Foundation remains committed to ensuring that Train continues to meet the needs of the public health, preparedness, and healthcare workforce today and into the future by launching our new Train Learning Network platform. Alyssa, let me turn this back over to you.
Thank you, Ron. I'd also like to introduce the Public Health Foundation's Train team, who are all joining me today. I introduced myself earlier. I am Alyssa Golan, the Director of the Train Learning Network. Ilya Plotkin is the Assistant Director, who works with me to oversee the daily operations of the Train Learning Network and associated programs and implement the overall strategic direction of the Train Learning Network. Stephen Gabriel, who is our IT business analyst and project manager. He's been working to manage the build of this new Train Learning Network platform, and you'll hear from him in a bit. Erin Bougie, Train Program Associate. She coordinates Train's work with course providers as well as oversees Train programs, including our annual Train Learning Network meeting. And Samantha Draper, our Train Program Assistant, who works very closely with our Train affiliates and supports Train communications. We also work closely with our technology partner, who Ron mentioned earlier, KMI Learning, and they are joining us on the webinar as well. KMI worked with PHF to launch Train in 2003 and has continued to be an important partner for us. KMI is working with us to develop this new training platform that we're going to be showing you today. It's important to begin our webinar by looking at the overall goal of the Train Learning Network. Our goal is a unified network for sharing and coordinating learning across agencies and organizations in order to train the health workforce. Train is truly a collaborative network of affiliates and partners that come together to provide you, the learners, with access to critical training content. The network is powered by the Train platform, which provides our affiliates and partners with the ability, as Ron said, to disseminate, track, and share trainings to benefit the learners. This is a visual representation of how the Train Learning Network operates and where we are today. The overall Train Learning Network is managed by the Public Health Foundation, where we sit today, a nonprofit organization based in Washington, D.C., that is focused on improving the public's health by strengthening the quality and performance of public health practice. Affiliate agencies manage branded learning sites off of the Train Learning Network platform. Our affiliates currently include 3 federal agencies, and they're listed here in the graphic: the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the Medical Reserve Corps, and the Veterans Health Administration, as well as 26 states. Our state Train affiliates include state health departments, preparedness agencies, academic institutions, and other health agencies. In many cases, local health departments also use Train as their learning platform, most often through their state affiliates. We also work with a wide range of agencies and organizations in addition to our Train affiliates to post training content to the Train Learning Network. This has allowed us to build a comprehensive catalog of training opportunities that are readily available to you, who are among our 1.3 million registered learners. The vast majority of the training content is free, and as you know, anyone can register as a learner on Train at no cost. This is a map that shows where our current Train affiliates are located. The blue shaded states represent our Train affiliates. And we are also working with additional agencies to join the Train Learning Network, so stay tuned for new additions. So why build a new platform for Train? The Train Learning Network has greatly expanded since its launch in 2003 in terms of the number of Train affiliates, training opportunities available, and registered learners. The time has come for a new platform to power this growing Train Learning Network. We have used feedback from our Train community to build a new platform that is modern, easy to use, and includes your most requested features. Our overall goals for this new platform include improving the user experience, especially making it easier for learners to find quality content, updating and expanding key functionality, such as making it easier to create an account, fill out your user profile, search for quality content, and more. And finally, extending Train's reach, really enhancing the ability of more organizations to collaborate with the Train Learning Network. We have focused on building a platform by and for the health workforce by seeking out continuous feedback. As we started identifying requirements for the new platform, we conducted a survey of learners and course providers to identify key areas of need. We also turned to our Train affiliates, and we launched an advisory group consisting of Train affiliates as well as course providers and partners to work with us throughout the process. We have also conducted extensive usability and user acceptance testing as we have been building the platform. Volunteers from the public health community, including Train affiliates, learners, and partners, have all been involved in testing and have put in hundreds of hours of testing time, and we really thank all of you for that. I know some of our testers are on this webinar today. Additionally, PHF will continue to collect feedback as the new platform rolls out, and we'll show you how that looks when we demo the new platform. So what to expect on Monday, January 30th. When you come onto train.org on Monday, January 30th, you will be able to start using the new platform to do all the major things that learners need to do on Train. Create accounts, search for content, and register and complete courses if you and this is all if you access, as I said, Train through the national Train site at train.org. I also want to note that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, is launching their CDC Train site on the new platform on Monday, January 30th as well. For those of you who are used to accessing CDC Train, there is a new URL. However, if you use the existing CDC Train URL, you will be redirected to the new site on Monday. If you access Train through another Train affiliate site, for example, Train Virginia or Kansas Train, you will still see the existing Train platform, which we will be referring to as Classic Train, until your Train affiliate moves over to the new platform. Expect to hear announcements from your Train affiliates on when these transitions will take place. The Public Health Foundation will be running Classic Train and the new Train platforms concurrently until all new functionality is completed. The Classic Train and new Train platforms will run on the same database until we have built out all major functionality. Primarily, this is the back-end administrative functionality for things like posting courses, running reports, etc. That means that anything you do on the new Train platform moving forward will be reflected in Classic Train until we retire Classic Train. So what we're going to be showing you in the demo today will cover all functionality that is launching on the new platform on Monday, January 30th. The major changes that you can expect, and that we'll be showing you momentarily, is a clean, modern new design. The new Train is mobile friendly. You can use the Train platform on most devices, smartphones, tablets, etc. It's been designed using HTML5 and is responsive. Simplified account creation. Learners can create a new account within just a few fields and then fill out the more detailed profile information once they are ready to take a course. User-friendly advanced course search so that you can search for the quality content you want and need more easily. Streamlined learning record management, meaning you can more easily access your transcripts, certificates, and training plans and transcripts. And increased support. We will be showing you video tutorials and easy to understand documentation that we are providing to make it easy to use Train. And now we are very, very excited to show you this new Train Learning Network platform. I'm going to turn over the presentation to Stephen Gabriel, our Train IT Business Analyst and Project Manager, to show you what the new platform looks like.
Thank you, Alyssa. So to start, we'll take a look at the Train login page. So this is our updated Train login page. As you can see, we have a video on the page. When you start this, it will run directly in your online learning experience, directly in your browser. We also have a number of links to help you understand more about Train. If you want to learn more about becoming a part of the Train Learning Network, how to become a course provider, or to become a Train affiliate. We also have links to hot topics as we do on our current page. As now, we have the course catalog available to unlogged in users, so you're able to search through courses before you actually log into our site. When you go to a course before login, you will see a login box where you would see a register box when you're actually logged in. As Alyssa mentioned, CDC Train will be launching at the same time, so I'd like to show you what their page looks like. Very similar with a few different pieces of information as well as different links. They also have a slightly different navigation style. I also want to show you the responsive design of the site. So if I go back to the home page, you can see as I make it smaller, it adjusts to the size of the screen, and I can scroll down and still see all the same information in the size of what would basically be a smartphone. As we mentioned, we've simplified the account creation. So if I go to create an account, this is a single page form that once you fill out all of this information, you will have an account on Train. I'm going to go ahead and log in now. So I'll start from the top and move my way down. So at the top we have a link back to Classic Train. So if you ever want to access the Classic Train site, the link will always be here at the top of the page. We also have notifications, which I'll get into a little later, and then your profile and the logout. So I'll go into the profile to show you a simplified profile. So now the profile is, again, a single page with multiple tabs to show you the different pieces of information within your profile. You can see on the contact there's an icon here that tells me that I have information missing from this section. So once you fill out that information, the icon will go away and your profile will no longer say is incomplete. So as you move down the general navigation of the site, the train logo will be at the top. We also have home, course catalog, your learning, and health. On the right side is the universal search. When you open this up, it will search through all training plans, courses, any resources that are available to you. One thing I want to note about the navigation is that as you scroll down the page, you'll see that the navigation stays persistent at the top. And if you are ever on any page within Train and wish to get back to the home page, you can click on the Train logo and it will bring you back to the home page. So I'll go through the home page now. As you can see at the top, we have a link here. What do you think about the new site? This is a link that will allow you to provide your feedback directly to us. As we move down, we have the announcements. These are different pieces of information that have been made available either by PHF or by your affiliate. You can scroll through, you can see the number of announcements available. You can scroll through the announcements. You can click on the title of the announcement, which will bring you to the full announcement, which can have links or more information. As I move to the right, you'll see notifications. These are the same notifications that are available at the top banner. It'll show you the first few notifications that you have available and allow you to open a window that will show you all of your notifications. In here, you'll see if your profile is incomplete, also if you have an unfinished assessment, you haven't rated a course, or you have an unfinished evaluation. If I click on the name of the course for the unfinished evaluation, this would bring me directly to that assessment or evaluation, depending on which one. If you click on the one for rated, it would bring you directly to the page where you can rate that course. So again, notifications let you know pertinent information that, of courses that you need to fill out, whether it's rating the course, the pre or post assessment, or an evaluation. Those are always accessible in the top banner. As I move down the page, we have your recent courses. These are courses that you've accessed recently, and it will tell you when the last time you accessed was at the bottom of the tile. The title of the course itself is a link that will bring you to the course details page. We also have an action button that when you click this, it'll give you different options based on your current progress within the course and the course type. You'll see this action button a lot throughout the site, and each time you open it, it will give you different options to interact with that course. As I move over, you see the Your Training Status. So this will show you courses that you have in progress in some way, so 9 courses to complete. This is a link that will bring you to a section within Your Learning. I'll show you that section later on. The same is true with the training plans and certificates obtained. So this shows the number of training plans I have in progress, either that I personally registered for or an administrator assigned to me, and the number of certificates that I've obtained through the system. As I move down, you can see courses you may also like. These are courses based on the number of courses that have been taken throughout the system, as well as courses that are similar to ones that I've taken or similar to ones that other people in the groups that I have signed up for have taken as well. So these may be courses that you would be interested in. We also have quick links to searches, which include browse courses, browsing training plans, or browsing events. And that is the home page. So I will move on now to the course catalog. The course catalog is the main way to search courses within Train. At the top, we have a keyword search. On the right side is the sort. We have a number of different ways to sort, and I'll show you a couple of those when I go through an example search in a little bit. On the left side, we have filters. When you initially go to the course catalog, it will be filtered by courses. If you wish to search by training plans, you can click the Any Search By and click Training Plans. This will show you a list of training plans that are available to you. If I go back to courses, when you click courses, it'll show you the filters that are related to the courses. These include format, which if you open it up, It shows you all the different formats available for courses. Common filters includes free courses, so this will only show courses that are free. Recently reviewed courses with courses that have been reviewed within the last 90 days, and courses that have certificates available to them. We also have subject, schedule, date, competencies, and capabilities. To give you an idea of what this looks like. When I open it up, I have the option to choose from the different competencies. I can open up the different tiers. I could select a specific level within that tier. You also have the ability to filter by course ratings, and then we have a number of advanced options as well, including credit type, audience, and distance. Distance applies to live events that have specific locations. The other thing about the search, when you're scrolling through, it'll show you the number of course records available. As you scroll, it is a lazy list, so it will continue to load as you move down the list. So there are no pages. I'm going to go ahead and do an example of search. I'll start with the keyword of HIPAA. In the search results, you can see that it's going to highlight my keyword in the course title. There are a number of search results that come underneath it that aren't highlighted in the title. That would mean that it's finding HIPAA in the course description. I'm going to go ahead and apply a filter of 4 stars and up. Now I can see HIPAA in overview with an average rating of 4 stars, over 1,300 ratings. I'm going to go into this course. So you can see that I already have this course in progress. So I've already registered for the course, and I can go ahead and directly launch the course. The other options I have in the Actions menu is to change the credit type that I've selected for the course, or I can withdraw from this course as well. I'm going to remove the filter and do another search. So I start with the keyword again. This time I'm going to include a format filter. Web-based training self-study. I'm also going to go ahead and use the common filter of certificate available, and I'm going to add back in the average course ratings filter. As you can see, all the filters show up as tags, and these are easily removable. If I wish to get rid of it, I could click anywhere on the tag, and it will remove that tag. That is true of filtering anywhere on the system. So I'm going to go ahead and add that back in. I'm going to change my sort order. So I'm going to sort by the number of ratings. So this is going to put the courses with the most ratings first. I'll go ahead and choose the first course. So now you can see I haven't registered for this course before. And my options are to register or save the course for later. Within the course description, hit More and see the full course description. Scroll down, and you're also able to collapse that once you've read through it. We have additional details, which will show you if there are any competencies associated with the course, and then we have attributes as well, showing the sponsor, contacts, background roles, different information about the course. So I'm going to go ahead and register for the course to show you what that looks like. It'll ask me to confirm my registration, and now I can see that I haven't completed all of the information within my settings or within my profile. So I'll go ahead and go to my profile. I can see that I still need to fill out my contact information. I'll add in my phone number. Now I can see that my profile is complete. Save. And when I close out of this, it brings me back to the course details, where I can go ahead and register choose any credits that I would want to receive for that course. And now I'm registered for the course. You can see that pre-assessment is pending. If I click on the pre-assessment, it would open it, and I could start taking that pre-assessment. And if I wanted to withdraw from the course, if I did that accidentally, I can go ahead and withdraw from the course. When I click Save for Later, it will save this to the Your Learning page for your current courses, and I'll show you what that looks like. I also want to show you the Reviews tab, which if you haven't taken the course before, it's going to show you the average number of star ratings, the percentage of star ratings for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And as you scroll down, you can see the most recent ratings. It's automatically sorted by newest with any comments on that course. And you have a different ways of sorting that course as well. So highest or lowest. I go back, it will bring me back to my course search. That is our course catalog. Now I'm going to move over to Your Learning. We start with Your Learning with your current courses. This is going to show, as you can see in the status column here, all courses that I have in progress in some way. So I can see that this course I have a pre-assessment pending. These other courses I have evaluation pending. The other ones I have currently in progress, so I can go ahead and launch the course directly. And the other ones are not started. So this is a status associated with the course that I just did at Save for Later. So since I haven't actually registered for this course yet, in the options menu on the left, or the action menu, I can go ahead and register for that course. For courses that are pre-assessment or post-assessment pending, I can directly launch the pre-assessment from the actions menu. And for in-progress courses, depending on the type, if it allows for self-completion, you can mark complete or go to the next step of the registration process if that's where you are, or you can launch the course. So depending on the type of course and the way it's set up, you'll have different options within the action menu. So again, we have the title column will by default be sorted by title. All of these columns are sortable on the click, so you can click the top and it will change the sort order depending on which column you're using. We also have a filter here, so if I only wanted to see courses I had not started, and again, there's a filter tag that I can easily remove, or pre-assessment pending. The current courses is easily accessible from the home page, as that link I showed you earlier. For courses to complete will bring me directly to my current courses. If I move over to training plans, each training plan is a link to the training plan details page. To show you what the details page looks like, it's very similar to the course details page where you have the description at the top where you can open and close it. But for a training plan, it shows all of the courses that are within that training plan, shows you how many courses are required within each section or if the course itself is required, and if you have a status within that course. From here, I can open the actions menu and register or save that course for later, or I could click on the course name to bring me to the course details page for that course. If I go back to my training plans, the information that's in this section is very similar. I can open this up and see all of the sections of this training plan and open up each section to see the courses within that section. In this training plan, you can see that there are no sections, but each course is labeled individually as being required. And I can see that for the first course in this training plan, I'm currently in progress. And if I open this actions menu, I can directly launch this course. If you ever want to withdraw from a training plan, there's an X next to the training plan name, and you can withdraw. That is the training plans tab. If I move over to your certificates, this will show me a list of all the certificates I have available for download, sorted alphabetically by name. But again, you can always sort these columns if I want to sort by when I most recently completed it, I can do that as well. You'll also see that there are different icons next to the different certificates. The download icon allows me to directly download the certificate. If there is a clock or history icon with a number, that tells me that I've completed this course or have multiple registrations for this course. When I open it up, I can see that I can download this certificate, but there's more needed to be able to download this one. In this case, the evaluation is required. When I click that, it will allow me to directly take the evaluation for this course. The same is true for this course that also has the action menu. Once I take the evaluation, the certificate will become available. As I move over to your transcript, this shows all the courses that you've completed. And this is sorted by completion date from the most recent to the oldest. Again, we have a history icon here. And this shows me that I have 3 registrations for this course. If I open up the history, I can see that I have 2 completed and 1 not started course registrations. From the completed registrations, I can use the action menu to print the certificate. I also have user-added courses, which you can add by using the Add an External Record. When I open Add an External Record, it'll show me all the different pieces of information that are required in order to add an external record. Once that record is added, you can then use the menu, or the action menu on the left, to edit that registration, or you can upload an external certificate. If you've already uploaded an external certificate, you can use the action menu to edit the external certificate. If you've only registered once, you'll see the history icon, and when you open it, it will show you that individual registration, different pieces of information. And again, I can use this to print the certificate as well. The download transcript button at the top allows you to download your transcript within a specified date range. By default, it's the last 30 days. You can open this up and go back as far as you'd like. We also have the ability to show withdrawn courses. So by default, none of the withdrawn courses are shown within this list. If I check the box at the top, I will then see my withdrawn courses. And withdrawn courses will not be included on the download transcript unless they are visible on your screen. That is the transcript tab. The last section I'll show you is the help. So within help, we have a number of different sections, starting with About Train, to show you information about the Train Learning Network, our Train affiliates. Scroll down, our Train course provider policies. We also have an FAQ section. This is for users or learners. Each section is expandable to give you the FAQ. Our system requirements have updated, so I suggest you take a look at this before using the system. We also have our Train tutorial site, which you have access to the intro video, as well as a number of different videos about using the site itself. We also have our contacts and our policies. And that is our Train system. So with that, I will open it up to the questions that were asked.
Thank you, Stephen. We've been receiving a lot of really great questions through the questions inbox, so I'm going to go ahead and read some of these off, and we're going to try to get them all answered. Our first one was, will Train be available to international audiences?
Yes, anyone can register as a learner on Train. We already do have international learners on Train. So I'm not sure if you were talking about learners or if you were talking about course providers. Becoming a course provider is also an option. So that's how we currently are able to work with international audiences.
We got a couple about the course search. In the format section in course search, can you apply more than one format or filter?
Yes, in any of these filters, you can always apply multiple filters or multiple tags. And those will update as soon as I click them. And then if I accidentally clicked one, I can remove it from here, or I can remove it from directly within the format filter itself. And that's true across all of these filters. So I've applied multiple format filters. I can also go down and apply multiple subject filters as well. Now I'm just randomly applying them, but I actually have one.
And there are also additional filters that we can show as well if you scroll down.
Correct. The same is true of credit types. So you can see there's a number of credit types that we have available through Train, and you can select any number of them to see what's available for that credit type.
There's actually a question about a specific credit type. Someone asked if there was a way to search for MCHES CEUs.
I will check to see. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yes.
And this is the way that these filters work is an OR filter. So it looks for if I use the MCHES and then I have another, it'll say, does this course have MCHES or LCERT? So it's not an and, it's an or.
Thank you. Are training plans topic-based or sorted by affiliate?
So your training plans that are going to be available to you are based on the groups that you are in. So you're going to see, I'm seeing everything that's available nationally right now. So depending on the group you have selected, you might see a different number in here. Right now, they're sorted by relevance. They don't have any keyword applied. Sort them A to Z. You can sort these the same way you would sort.
Right. But there are a lot of training plans that you're not seeing right now on the screen that are specific to a Train affiliate. So again, it depends on what groups you're part of on Train.
And if you're talking about ordered by subject type, right now you'll see that there are no filters associated with this training plan specifically. That will be updated in the future, where training plans will actually be integrated directly within the courses filter of format. You'll see training plans in here, and then training plans will have the same filters available for subject types.
Okay. Are external records the non-trained courses that we can add ourselves?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And will the email transcript functionality still be available?
So the way the transcript works is when I download it, it downloads as a PDF. The issues we had with emailing a transcript was that depending on what email service you use, it could work or not work correctly. So the way that we're handling this now is that you download the PDF and then you have the ability to use that PDF and email it to whoever you wish. So we don't have a specific email transcript functionality.
We had a specific question. I am an APD provider in Florida. Does this mean I no longer have to send my staff information on a spreadsheet to the APD LMS to have their accounts created in Train?
I'd have to look at the question again.
Well, for any questions I think that relate to integrating with platforms from specific state agencies, the affiliate administrator for that agency would probably be your best source for that answer. So we can contact you after the webinar to get you in contact with the affiliate administrator and get that question more fully answered.
Someone asked, they got to the webinar a little late. Will this update be global to all different state train websites? I have had to apply for logins with other state train sites in the past.
So this is going to be with our national site. So if you go to www.train.org, you'll be able to log in and see these features that I was just demoing. If you're a member of another train state, right now there are no train states that have moved over. CDC has moved over, as I showed before, and I'll show you quickly. So www.train.org/CDC train will also be moving over. But if you are a member of another state agency or another state affiliate and you access directly through that state affiliate site, you will still see Classic Train. You can always go to the national site of www.train.org to access these new features, though.
Yeah, and we're working with the states to move over to the new platform, and that's going to be occurring gradually throughout the coming year. We do have several states that are working with us actively right now to move over in the next 6 months, and those train affiliates will make the announcements of when they're going to be launching. So keep an eye out.
There's another question. Will our current account information, including our profile information, transcripts, etc., automatically be uploaded into Train 3.0, or will each user be required to perform a task?
All of the information that is on Classic Train is also on Train 3, is on the new Train platform. So you don't have to do anything to start using the new features. All the information is reflected on both systems the same way. They run off of the same database, so if you do something on Classic Train, it will also be reflected on the new Train system and vice versa.
For those of us with conference registrations in process before and after January 30th, how will this update affect our registrations?
The update will not affect your registrations in any way.
Is there a way to review completed content, say rewatch an archived recording of a webinar you have already been completed for?
So as of right now, you would still need to re-register for that course if you wanted to watch something if you've completed it. If you're still in progress and you haven't marked it complete, then it would still be available to you.
Does Train support groups or communities of practice, as in could group members communicate with each other in a private space within Train?
So as of right now, we don't have an internal messaging system or a discussions board within the new system. It is something that we'll be working on in the future, mainly an internal messaging system. We are also looking at discussion boards for courses as well.
Do you have a schedule of when each state will be transitioning to the new platform?
We don't have a schedule yet that we can share. Like I said, we do have several states that are actively working with us, and they'll be making announcements soon if they haven't already. We have one state launching in April. We have 3 states launching in May, and then another state that's aiming for June or July. So we'll rely on our Train affiliates to make those announcements. In terms of the other state affiliates, we are actively working with them to schedule them in to transition onto the new platform. And we don't have specific dates to share for those.
And Alyssa, if I want to use the new Train platform and I am, let's say, registered with Kansas Train, can I go to the national site, put in my login information for Kansas Train, and then be using the new platform?
Yes, you can. You would just be accessing Train through the main site. You would, anything that would be visible to you as a Kansas Train learner, you will see. on the new platform.
Where will the link to retrieve password be located?
So the password retrieval link is on the login page. So you can see here on the CDC page, if I go back to the national page and I log out, there's a forgot your login name / password. And if I open that, it asks you to enter your email and submit that, and then it will send you an email with information to reset your password.
How does one become a course provider? Is this process updated in any way, or are there any upcoming provider trainings?
We are always looking to work with new course providers. If this is a course, the way it works is if you were to fall under one of our affiliate states or even one of our federal affiliates, for example, if you were receiving funding from CDC, you would go through CDC Train, and they have an administrator that you would work with, or if you're in a certain state that's a Train affiliate, you would work with that administrator. If you're not in a Train state, if you're not receiving funding from a federal Train affiliate, if it's content that should be universally available to all learners, then you would work with our team here at the Public Health Foundation. We do have a link on the homepage with information on how to become a course provider. We have monthly webinars that Erin Bougie here on the team runs that goes through the whole process of how to post to Train. We also have some good information here on the Public Health Foundation website as well. In terms of posting courses to Train, right now the posting needs to take place on Classic Train. We are building out the functionality to post courses onto the new platform. Well, when you post a course, it will appear on the new platform, but the functionality to actually post the course using the new platform, that is something that we're working on right now, and that would be available in the fall. And actually, once we're done answering questions, Ilya is going to go over some of the upcoming functionality releases.
That leads well into one question that we received. Are there any enhancements under the administration side?
So as of right now, the only new piece of functionality that you'll see in the admin section is the ability to add those announcements that I showed. So I'll log in and just show you. So these announcements are administered from within the new Train platform. So as an admin, you'd see an admin tab at the top that would allow you to add new announcements or edit current announcements. But other than that, there is no admin functionality within the new system as of right now.
Right. What's going to happen with the administrative functionality is now we have the new platform launched as of Monday. So as new functionality is built, it will become available on the new platform. So maybe what we can do is go to the slide where we go over what's next, since we're on these questions, and Ilya can go through what some of the functionality is on the horizon that will be coming out after this initial launch.
Sure. Thanks, Alyssa. So we're excited, obviously, to share this new platform with our community of trained learners, course providers, affiliates, and partners. But clearly, we're not stopping here. Our work will continue after January 30th as we continue to build a platform, including, as you can see, the course wizard to simplify dissemination and posting of content, an internal messaging system to ease communication, and reporting for even more robust and smarter reports. As well, we will also be integrating XAPI, or also known as TinCan API, which will help to track learning in all of its forms. So we will schedule additional webinars as new functionality becomes available on Train, in addition to releasing video tutorials, job aids, and other resources. In the future, we hope that we'll see you on the future webinars. And we're going to always welcome and value your feedback and questions as we move forward. So I think at this point, if we have any remaining questions for our last several minutes that haven't been answered, we'll happily take those.
Well, while we're looking at some of the new questions that came in, one question that we've been asked is whether Train will stay free for learners, and the answer is yes.
Okay. When you create an account, does that allow you to automatically log in and register for a course, or are there additional fields the learner has to complete?
So as I showed during the demo, you will be required to fill out your entire profile prior to registering for a course. So the fields that you see on the account creation form allow you to access the system, see courses that are only available to the course groups that you've signed up within, so if you signed up in Kansas, it'll allow you to see the Kansas courses. But in order to actually take a course, you will have to fill in the required information within your profile. So as you can see, my profile is filled out entirely, but if I start removing some of this information, you can see that the profile goes down. And if I go back out, I can now see that, oh, well, I didn't actually end up saving that, but let me just, I know I can remove the contact field. So if I tried to register for a course now, because it says your profile is incomplete, I've already registered for this course prior to removing that piece of information. But if I try to register for the course, it's going to tell me that I need to complete the required settings in my profile. So I can go back to the profile and I can see what fields I need to fill out. And all the required fields within your profile are marked with a red line.
What is the difference between completed and completed not verified in the Your Learning section?
So that's a good question. For a lot of our affiliates, they require verification for the courses. That might be that the course itself verifies if it's a SCORM course, or if it has an assessment or evaluation that completing that verifies the course. If not, the course will sit as completed not verified, which does not necessarily mean that it needs to be verified, but it's dependent on your train affiliate or the provider to verify that for you. A number of the courses can sit as completed not verified. That doesn't mean you haven't completed the course. Once it is verified, though, it will show up as completed.
And do you want to just talk about what it will appear on the transcript?
So on the transcript itself, there is a status column and there is a verified column. When you've completed a course, it will always show up as completed on the printout of the transcript, and there will be a column that will say yes or no for verified.
Is there an option to be notified when a new course of interest has been added?
So that is generally on the saved search functionality, which currently is not available within Train, but we will be adding that in the coming months, and once that is available, you will be able to save a search, and then when a new course becomes available in that search, get an email to let you know. Now, you can only get emails from Train if you have opted in. So within your profile, in your account, there are checkboxes here to say that you'd like to receive emails from Train. If you haven't checked the box to receive emails from Train, you won't be able to get those emails. So make sure that you always are opted in.
Are all of the trainings free?
The vast majority, I think the last time we checked, it was 98% of the trainings were free.
So if a course does have a fee, we do have an icon to show you that. As I scroll down, you can see there are a few conferences and meetings that require a fee. So that will be indicated. And again, if you want to exclude all courses that require a fee, you can use the common filter of free courses, and that will only show courses that are free. And as you can see, the number of courses, if I remove the filter, available to me now is 2,947, and when I applied that, it's now 2,892, so it's not a large number of courses.
Will any integration with other systems, such as Intermatic, continue to work after your affiliate upgrades?
Yes, we've made sure that the integrations are still working properly, and if there are integrations that are specific to different affiliates, we're working on those as we move the affiliate over to make sure that they work properly.
If we currently have a train login, will it work on the new site, or will we need to register again?
So you'll never have to register again if you have a login that you're currently using. You can go to the new train site and use the same login that you've been using.
How is a course completed? In current train, there is the M button.
So that's the mark completed. So if I go to your learning, there are some of these that you're allowed to mark complete. You can see it says mark completed. If I go to the course details page, there is a mark completed button. So there's a couple of different places where you can mark it completed.
And Stephen, would that be mark completed but unverified?
Correct.
Someone asked that they saw that this was being recorded. Will it be made available on the train.org website or to attendees?
Yes, we will have a recording of this webinar available on Train. We will definitely let everyone know what the course ID will be for the recorded webinar.
Will there still be a calendar?
So as of right now, the calendar, as you can tell, there is no calendar, but we will be adding a calendar in the coming months, and it will be made available to all users across all affiliates.
Yes, so there are a few remaining user features that are being completed after the launch, and that is one of them.
So we've tried to answer most of the questions. We're getting quite a few, and we're going to make sure to write down all of these questions, and we will get back to you with any specific ones that you've sent into the chat box.
Okay. So we want to thank you for participating in today's webinar. We've included our contact information. If you have additional questions that you'd like to send us, we really look forward to having all of you try the new platform when it launches on Monday, and to use that link on the home page to provide us with any feedback that you have. This is an ongoing process. We will continue to add to this new platform, and we welcome your feedback and hope to continue working with you now and far into the future. Thank you.